It to you for sure, live and direct, Mister. It's the Mister Show. Shout out to everybody that's listening in right now, that's tuning in right now. It's the Mister Show. I, Ricky Turbo, aka Mr. Six Boss. Shout out to everybody listening in from Canada to the world. And on the Mister Show, we're gonna set it straight. We're gonna set it straight. All the young and upcoming bucks in the place looking for that proper relationship. We are going to give you some information out of experience, and we got facts, and we also got some good inspirational people that was alongside that we've grown with, studied with, and also that we've learned from right here online. It's the Mister Show. I, Ricky Turbo. If you notice, I'm holding on to the MIC because I've been a DJ for over 33 years. And just to let you know that I'm very much used to holding on to the MIC, all right? I'm going to do a product review on each piece of equipment that I use, but that'll be on some other show. This is just the first catalog, the first show catapulting me into the next level. So I want to say big respect to everybody that's tuning in, the Mister Show, bringing it to you. I want to say a shout out to certain people, like I should have put it up on the screen, but like Melanie King, shout out to the Poor Man's Podcast, shout out to Thon Lexi, shout out to of course the Godfather himself, Kevin Samuels, which I saw that it must be so fitting that I start off my very first podcast with a Kevin Samuels. That's 100% sure on the Mister Show, right? You can also know things about me as time progresses that I've been DJing for over 33 years on the international level, dancehall, reggae music, and of course a little bit of hip hop, but specifically dub plates and competition reggae, right? So we'll get into that some other time. Mister Show, I just want to give you some information about myself. And I also named off some of the podcasters that I watch, and I forgot his name over the Celebrity Drunk. Celebrity Junk for sure. And also I listened to the African Diaspora. Philip Scott, big up. I remember when we first started, I did listen to a lot of podcasts when they first started, trying to be inspired to do it, and finally getting my belt buckled up and my shoes laced tied up, and we're here live on the podcast, the Mister Show, with I, Ricky Cuervo from King Turtle. Just call me Rick, sir, and we good to go. All right, Mister. All right, so we're gonna start it off something like this. We're gonna start off the Mister Show. We're gonna start it off with something like this, okay? So check this out. Let me stop that and let me just keep it real with people. I'm not 100%. I'm not using all kind of different fancy things, but I got my things together. So we want to start off the show with Mr. Kevin Samuels himself. Mr. Kevin Samuels.
Yes.
All right. Do I want to preface this particular take? No, I don't. I want to start off with a message from Kevin Samuels when he was interviewed on DjVlad.
You actually rated Sweetie an adjustable 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meaning that she can go from cute to pretty.
Right.
In that range, depending on, I guess, her
However
makeup,
she decides
her hair,
to leave her house.
clothes.
Yep. Anytime she wants to, she can turn the knob.
Okay. Well, number one, what did you think about the breakup that happened between Sweetie and Quavo?
All right, so just to give you guys some insight, all right, obviously this is the time when Sweetie broke up with Quavo, and this is actually a little bit after that. And Kevin Samuels is a grown-ass man, so I'm not too sure if he's 100% down with all of that breakup and all the ins and outs and all that still, but he still gives some very good, viable advice if you listen, and always read between the lines when you're listening to the big dogs, okay? So this is DjVlad interviewing Kevin Samuels, and this is on the Mister podcast.
You actually rated Sweetie
Check this out.
an adjustable 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Meaning that she can go from cute to pretty.
Right.
in that range, depending on, I guess, her
However
makeup,
she decides
her
to
hair,
leave her house.
clothes.
Yep. Anytime she wants to, she can turn the knob.
Okay. Well, number one, what did you think about the breakup that happened between Sweetie and Quavo? And ultimately, I remember I had Boosie on my show, and he just went off. I mean, he basically talked about how disrespectful it was.
First of all, rest in peace, Kevin Samuels, the Godfather. So whatever he says, you really better take it into consideration. Listen.
Was for her to do an interview with her ex-boyfriend while she's still in a relationship with Quavo and talk about having a threesome with another guy.
right.
And ultimately, I remember I had
You heard
Boosie
that?
on my show,
Listen.
and he just went off. I mean, he basically talked about how disrespectful it was for her to do an interview with her ex-boyfriend while she's still in a relationship with Quavo and talk about having a threesome with another guy.
Now, see, I would say I honestly didn't follow
Crazy.
much of that, but I will say, if that's the case, what I kind of remember is she went on a podcast or show or something and said some things that were going to probably be good in the moment, but it was a bad look for her relationship. That's why a lot of guys looked at it. I will say I wouldn't want a woman I'm dealing with to say something like that. But
You heard it for yourself, right? It was good for the moment, but it was a bad look overall for the relationship. Go on.
you kind of got to understand, but I also understand that women have been told, hey, no rules. They broke up. I think I recall something, I don't know if it's true or not, about cars coming back, this and that. I really don't keep up with a lot of that stuff because they live a different life than most people. But a lot of people were angry because I ranked her an adjustable 6. First off, I got a report, I said that she's 6. But I'm like, when did being average being an insult?
Right.
When did saying a woman that's cute is an insult? When did saying a woman's pretty is an insult? It's like women today who will tell you they're a 10. And even if you put parameters on it, they'll say I'm a 10 because of my self-esteem and how I look at myself.
Right, exactly. So that's true. Since when did being average become an insult? And I'm trying to say the majority of people along the planet, I would say, are about average, anywhere between maybe a 4 and a 6. Everybody, right? It's very rare that you see someone that's really like a 2 or a 1, or it's very kind of rare that you see a natural person that's like a 9 or a 10. So go on. Since when did it become a problem to be average?
That is not how the world works. You could tell let's go back to DjVlad 20 years ago. You could say you are the ish, but you couldn't get the results as DjVlad can today, no matter how great your self-esteem or confidence is. That's the world we live in because men get rejected often. Women, for the most part, are not used to being rejected or told the truth on a consistent basis. So
when they hear the truth, you know, a question that I like to ask, and I want to ask everybody who can make a comment in the comment boxes, do you think that the older women are sabotaging the younger women? Do you think the older women are giving the younger women good advice? Right? You hear my Canadian accent, right? Because I'm a Jamaican-born, Canadian raised. But like, do you really think that the older women are giving the younger women solid, sound advice? All right? I said that for a reason. I asked it for a reason. Kevin Samuels, finish up, yeah, brother.
Because men get rejected often. Women, for the most part, are not used to being rejected or told the truth on a consistent basis. So a little bit hypersensitive, but the pandemic was a wake-up call for everybody because no matter what people thought of themselves when they were at home, to the left or to the right, who was there with you? And that's what really kind of started focusing more women's mind, in my opinion, on outcomes they want, not just today, but in the future.
Right. They had time. Women had time in the pandemic to realize these guys. I call them satellite niggas, right? These dudes that just like hover around like helicopter niggas, right? They just hover around your relationship, posing as friend to your woman, right? What do y'all feel about that statement? How do y'all feel about me saying that you got some guys that act like they're your girl's friend, and your girl is convinced that he's a friend, but we know the game, bro. We know, bro.
Stop the cap.
Right? We know the game. Yo, we know the bruh. We know the game. We know that the men them are just there hovering around, waiting for that specific moment, just waiting for that moment. right? That heartbreak night or some kind of a bad moment, and they're right there for them. Don't tell me no lies.
Outcomes they want, not just today, but in the future.
Well, when you talked about Sweetie, you said, I look at you fresh face, no makeup, your natural state.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever seen her pictures, fresh face, natural state.
Right.
She's a cute woman who can be pretty, but I don't think she's ever going to be considered to be beautiful or gorgeous.
Right.
What's wrong with that?
So when you talk about pretty, beautiful, or gorgeous, 8s, 9s, or 10s, those are the women. And see, I don't know why that's an insult, but you start looking at women on the cover of, let's say, People, most beautiful people in the world, supermodel levels. There's a distinction.
Right.
There's a cutoff line somewhere. I don't know about you, but I've been to I've been to cattle calls, modeling calls, and if people think what I'm saying is harsh, there are channels right here on YouTube where there are women they'll start ranking you. Go into a swimsuit model call, where they take a marker and start drawing on you. Nope, 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 nope.
Right.
And
but women are willing to submit to that, though, to that criticism, where they'd actually go into a cattle call where they're trying to get on a music video or some kind of acting job or something, and you put on that swimsuit, and literally they're going to take a marker and start marking out the fat parts or the parts that they don't like for the production. And women are okay with that, right? They're okay with that rejection and all, but the minute a man tells them that, put on a little bit of weight, girlfriend, you're looking a little extra, they get all offended and thing. But that might be another video. Let's keep going.
Nope, 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 nope. And if it's not all right to say the line is drawn somewhere for somebody, then I guess what we're saying that everybody's equal. There's no differentiation. One thing I haven't heard, and maybe she hasn't said it. What she thinks of herself.
Stop the cap.
A lot gets reported about what one guy says, but does she consider herself to be up in the top ends of beauty?
Well, I remember there's an interview she did where she said, that having a pretty face definitely opens doors. It opened doors for her and that type of thing.
That's a whole next conversation again called pretty privilege, and the privileges that women get just because they look pretty. Oh, and somebody was asking me, I saw it. Let me just show them right here real quick. It's a Toronto Blue Jays, right? Legendary outfielder, Mr. Sheffield. He's in the Hall of Fame. I don't know if y'all saw that, but Sheffield was his name. Legendary player for the Toronto Blue Jays. And of course, I'm out here in Toronto, Canada. So let's continue on because he's going to touch a little piece about pretty privilege. Listen, right? Pretty privilege. Let's rewind just a little bit. All right, go on.
Opens doors, it opened doors for her and that type of thing. Well, I remember there's an interview she did where she said, that having a pretty face definitely opens doors. It opened doors for her and that type of thing. The interesting thing, though, about Sweetie is that, I saw old videos of Sweetie when she was first trying to rap, and she was like, rapping for people and stuff like that.
Right.
This was before all the plastic surgery.
So I didn't even know. Me personally didn't know that Sweetie had all that plastic surgery. I just thought she was just a little cutie. You get me? You understand? So I didn't know that she had all plastic surgery and stuff, Sweetie. Come on, Sweetie. Right? So I was going to interrupt that for a reason, and I don't remember. So let's keep going. So Sweetie, plastic surgery. Let's keep going. Right? Big up all the natural ladies out there. Ladies. Which one do you think is better? A real, true, natural-looking 6 or a 7 or a made-up 9? Which one do you think, ladies? Put it in the comment box.
This was, small boobs, relatively flat butt,
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Sorry to interrupt, right? I know, sorry. All right, sorry. All right, so what I was going to say was I remember seeing when Rihanna first came out, I remember they were showing some pictures of Rihanna, right? And Rihanna was like, I mean, very, plain, looking like a regular chick from the islands. You get me? From Barbados, all that makeup and all that stuff wasn't there. And she, of course, was naturally very, very pretty. So big up Rihanna and big up her makeup line and all that stuff. But again, the makeup industry making billions off of creating a delusion for on our women, right? The makeup industry making billions of dollars, creating an illusion to our women about themselves. How much y'all agree with that statement or not? Leave a comment in the comment box, y'all.
This was before all the plastic surgery. This was, small.
I didn't know she had plastic surgery. Oh man.
Boobs, relatively flat butt, not all the curves that you see these days. From your point of view, does plastic surgery, does that ultimately help or hurt women when it comes to relationships with men?
Now this is where it goes personal. In my personal opinion, there's something. It's all on a sliding scale. There's nips and tucks, slight adjustments, but we're getting to the point to where it's becoming comical. I live in Atlanta, and I'm looking at some women that have some of those comical proportions. Jessica Rabbit was a cartoon character for a reason.
You actually rated Sweetie.
Yeah.
An adjustable sit.
Right there. Bam. He ended that one with a smash. If y'all remember Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Jessica Rabbit. Oh man. Yo, she was actually for a cartoon. Yo, she was actually hot. Yo, I ain't lying.
Stop the cap.
I ain't lying, bro. Trust me, yo. Jessica Rabbit was hot. So people just understand that, man. I don't know about this plastic surgery. What do y'all think? What do you think? Do you think that plastic surgery is helping the ladies nowadays, or do you think that it's not helping the ladies nowadays? Yo, you tell me what to think, man. Enough respect, Kevin Samuels. Big up yourself every time. Seeing it was a good clip, and he is the godfather of all godfathers. Remember that. Seeing Kevin Samuels, enough respect, and rest in peace. Yeah, brother? Ricky Turbo, King Turbo. You don't know.